A bee may seem like one of the smallest creatures in nature, but behind those tiny wings is a force that helps shape entire ecosystems. Bees are not just insects flying from flower to flower. They are builders, navigators, communicators, farmers of the natural world, and silent partners in the food we eat. In this video, we enter the secret world of bees and discover why life on Earth depends on them far more than most people imagine. When many people think of bees, they think of honey. Golden, sweet, and stored in perfect wax cells. But honey is only one small part of the story. Every time a bee visits a flower, it may carry pollen from one plant to another. That simple movement helps plants reproduce, fruits develop, seeds form, and entire habitats continue. In other words, bees do not only produce honey, they help produce life. A beehive is not chaos. It is one of nature's most organized societies. Inside the hive, thousands of bees move with purpose. Some care for the young. Some clean the hive. Some build wax combs. Some guard the entrance. And others fly out into the world, searching for nectar and pollen. Every bee has a role, and together they function almost like one living organism. At the center of the colony is the queen, but she does not rule the hive like a human monarch. Her main role is reproduction. She lays the eggs that allow the colony to survive and grow. Worker bees surround her, feed her, clean her, and sense the chemical signals she releases. These signals help maintain order inside the hive. Without the queen, the colony can quickly fall into crisis. But without the workers, the queen could not survive either. Most bees inside a hive are female worker bees, and their lives are incredibly busy. A young worker may begin by cleaning cells and caring for larvae. Later, she may help produce wax, store nectar, or guard the entrance. Only near the later part of her life does she usually become a forager. Then she leaves the hive, flying from flower to flower, collecting nectar, pollen, water, and resin. Her life may be short, but every day of it is filled with purpose. One of the most remarkable things about honeybees is the way they communicate. When a forager finds a rich food source, she can return to the hive and perform a movement known as the waggle dance. This dance can help other bees understand where the food is located. The angle of the dance gives direction. The duration helps indicate distance. And the excitement of the dance can suggest the quality of the source. It is not speech, but it is information, a language written in movement. Bees experience the world differently from humans. Their compound eyes are made of many tiny visual units. They can detect patterns, movement, and colors that help them find flowers. Many flowers have hidden visual guides that are difficult for human eyes to see. To a bee, a flower can look like a landing signal, a map of color, scent, shape, and light. What looks simple to us may be a detailed invitation to them. Pollination is one of the most important natural processes on Earth. When bees move pollen between flowers, they help plants produce fruits and seeds. This affects wild plants, farms, forests, gardens, and food systems. Apples, almonds, berries, cucumbers, melons, and many other crops benefit from pollinators. Not every food depends on bees, but many of the foods that make diets diverse, colorful, and nutritious are connected to pollination. That is why bees matter far beyond the hive. Honey begins as nectar. A foraging bee collects nectar from flowers and carries it back to the hive. Inside, the nectar is passed between bees and gradually transformed. Then it is stored inside wax cells. Bees fan their wings to reduce moisture, helping the liquid become thick, stable honey. Finally, the cells are sealed with wax. For the bees, honey is not a luxury. It is stored energy, a survival food for difficult times. A single bee does not collect very much on one trip, but the power of a colony comes from thousands of small efforts repeated again and again. One bee flies out, another returns, one stores nectar, another feeds larvae. The hive survives because no task is isolated. Every movement connects to something larger. This is one of the great lessons of bees. Small actions can build something extraordinary. Honeybees are famous, but they are not the only bees that matter. Around the world, there are many kinds of wild bees. Some live alone rather than in large colonies. Some nest in soil. Some use hollow stems or tiny holes in wood. Many wild bees are excellent pollinators, and some are closely linked to specific plants. The story of bees is not only the story of hives and honey. It is also the story of wild diversity. Today, many bees face serious pressures. Habitat loss can reduce the flowers and nesting places they need. Pesticides can create additional risks. Climate change can shift flowering seasons and disturb the timing between bees and plants. Diseases and parasites can also weaken colonies. The problem is not usually one single cause. It is the combination of many pressures at the same time. And when bees struggle, the effects can spread through entire ecosystems. If bees disappeared completely, the world would not become empty overnight, but it would become poorer. Many wild plants would lose important pollinators. Some crops would become harder to produce. Food systems could become less diverse and more expensive. And countless animals that depend on flowering plants, seeds, fruits, and healthy habitats would also be affected. Bees are small, but they are connected to a very large web of life. Helping bees does not always require something complicated. Planting native flowers can provide food. Leaving small natural areas can create shelter. Reducing harmful chemicals can lower risks. Supporting responsible farming and local beekeepers can also make a difference. Even a small garden, balcony, or wild patch can become part of the solution. For bees, a flower is not decoration. It is a resource. And for us, protecting bees means protecting the systems that support life. The world of bees is hidden in plain sight. It is in the flowers beside a road, in the orchards that produce fruit, in the wild meadows that feed countless species, and inside the hive, where thousands of tiny lives work together with incredible precision. Bees remind us that nature does not always depend on the largest creatures. Sometimes, the future of a landscape can rest on wings almost too small to notice. So the next time you see a bee on a flower, look closer. You may be watching one of the most important workers on Earth. If you enjoyed this journey into the secret world of bees, please like the video and subscribe to Factful Treasures for more calm, fascinating documentaries about nature, science, and the hidden wonders of our planet. And tell us in the comments, did you know bees could communicate through dance?